got an email the other day from someone. They wanted to know who was George Wallace and why did he run for president in 1968. Well, George Wallace was the governor of Alabama who said famously, segregation now, segregation forever. And true to his words, he tried to prevent the integration of the university in 1963. By 1968, Wallace runs as an independent candidate for president, and he is really the party of the backlash. George Wallace represents the frustrations and the anger, largely of white, working class, middle class voters. People knew that he would have appeal in the South. What was surprising to most people was that he actually had a lot of appeal in the North, in ethnic areas in the North, among traditionally Democratic voters. And what Wallace does, and why he's such an important political figure, is that he taps into this sense of cultural resentment and cultural anger. And by doing so, he creates a whole new language of politics. And if there had been no George Wallace in 1968, it's very possible that Richard Nixon would not have been successful in his campaign in '68. If there had been no George Wallace, there would have been no Richard Nixon, and very likely no Ronald Reagan. What Republicans do is they co-opt the message that George Wallace used in 1968. They make it respectable. And in doing so, it becomes a key piece of their Southern strategy to win over disaffected white voters.